Ab wheel. One of the single greatest anti-extension exercises is going to be the ab wheel. Probably the oldest thing in the books, as well as the tools in our arsenal. We're going to look at just now getting more dynamic with our plank. So now as he goes and his point of stability moves, it's going to be a lot tougher as that lever gets longer. So one of the things that we see wrong a lot of times is people kind of keeping their hips back for too long and reaching. So he's doing a great job of reaching out and getting his hips to follow. But the key is hips are the last thing out and the last thing back. So we want to really reach, don't outreach ourselves, but once we get to this position, he's obviously pretty advanced, so we can get a good long reach. But if we can't, don't worry about getting the arms too far in front. Okay, body saws. Body saws are another great way for us to kind of displace, move the body through the plank movement. So now instead of moving hands with the ab wheel, now we're going to hit the slides under the toes and work on pushing back. It's really, really tough move. Any of these moves, you want to make them tougher, go up into an extended arm position and a push-up position. But this is usually going to be quite enough for most people. We're really working anti-extension, keeping everything super tight and rigid. Good. Good. Floor cleaners. Floor cleaners is now we take the sliders, put them under our hands, we change. So this is great for time sets, things like that, or even counting right, left as one rep. So we want to be real deliberate and kind of keep everything super tight. Once we get better at it, we can go a little faster with the hands. But the whole thing is we want to think about creating a really stable core. We can go a little further now in our reach, even add a little more of that upper body strength involved with it. But now we really are changing the dynamic of that plank movement. Good. Planks. Planks are pretty simple, pretty easy to teach. I'm going to go through just a variety of different ways for you to make them a little bit tougher, make them a little bit easier. Okay, so if we get into a plank position on the elbows, we just want to really think about anti-extension, right? Our back naturally wants to, hips want to sink on the ground, the back wants to extend. So the whole purpose of planking, any kind of pillar strength that we're looking at, is our ability to anti-extend. So now if this is a simple thing for you, you can do this for an extended period of time, we can try to displace one point of support. So we can pick up a foot, go ahead and switch the other side. So we can kind of go through a series of this. We can go with the arm reach without, try not to tip too much. There you go, switch arms. So we could see already having to compensate. Now we can go one arm with the opposite foot. So if he goes right arm, he goes left foot, kind of like a bird dog position. So all different ways for us to create that tougher plank series. Now obviously if it's even if you want to backtrack from the beginning, go ahead and get in that plank one more time. Just do it from your knees. So extend out, pick your feet up. First level is obviously going to be just from the knees, shorten that lever. So you could see we could progress quite easily. We could do it by a series of reps, or you could do it for an amount of time. Side planks, another variation. Now we're going to think about 360 degrees, we're talking core. So now we want to address that pillar strength, that stability strength to be able to hold that position. So now we go side plank, basic level is just to hold the side plank right where he is. We can change this up now, make it tougher by doing some up and down with the hips. Just real gentle, not too far, just a couple inches. We can also take his upper arm, hold that nice plank, reach through and kind of turn it into a little bit more rotation. We can go set amount of reps, set amount of time. And then a great way to finish that series is to pick up the top leg, really stabilize, really going to change the stability quite a bit. TRX Body Saws, we could take this, obviously we've done it with on the sliders, but now we can make it tougher. We've got it unstable and we've got feet elevated. So he's going to get in a plank position, really work on anti-extension. So he's going to be a rock there and he's going to work on sawing to his capability. So it might be, for some people, it might be moving back a foot. For some people, it might be moving back an inch or two. But we just want to keep that steady level, okay? Now, next level up is to get in a push-up position. You're not going to get the same range of motion. It's going to be a lot more demanding on the core and the anti-extension aspect. So he stays nice and tight. and he pushes. So you can see he's only going to get a few inches back, which is fine, but we really are firing up and lighting up the core and working that pillar strength, that planking strength. Good. TRX Falling Hinge, pretty advanced exercise. If you want to make it easier, shorten the straps, get closer to the anchor. We're kind of in a difficult range right now. So what we're going to do is basically start in kind of a power position. He's going to let his hands fall, and he's going to fall into a push-up position. So as he falls, he's in that plank, which has already worked. Now he's going to triple flex, ankles, knees, hips to pull himself back. And he's not trying to go that slowly. It's just that's how fast he can go right now, because it's really, really a tough exercise to try to flex everything to get yourself back. Pulling back. So it's almost like he's digging in with his toes, bending his knees and hips. Let's try one more. Gets to that push up, digs in, pulls, pulls, pulls. There you go. So it's a really, really tough exercise. It also addresses sometimes that flexion that we're not addressing in the training. So it's a great movement. It's kind of incorporating a flexion aspect and also the planking aspect. TRX Superman. Now we're going to really address the core a lot like that ab wheel. We're going to lengthen that lever. So now we're in a pretty easy standing starting position. He's going to reach out, get to full extension, and then contract back. So we're still working like thinking of a plank, not letting that back extend, keeping everything rock solid. So now as we get stronger, we can progress our way back. The more we move under the anchor in any exercise, it's gonna be tougher and tougher. So now as he works out now, he's gonna have a lot more tension, a lot more load to work that Superman position there. Good, really, really tough core exercise having to stabilize.